Gurudev. Thank you very much.
Hello.
Hello, thank you very much for this opportunity. I think we just start right in with asking you that how do we reconcile, some of the great ironies and contrasts of life that many of us are alone and isolated at this time, but it's something that we are going through it in a kind of as a global entity where so many of us are doing it, or as a species, we are at our most knowledgeable and capable, yet this time of lockdown has enabled us to relearn some of life's very simplest lessons. And in the case of maybe fame, when you are famous, lots of people know your name, but very few people know you.
Can I take a quick second and introduce our guests before we start?
Oh, so sorry. I thought you'd done that bit.
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. So welcome everybody to this unique interaction with Gurudev. Our guests today are Gurinder Chadha, who is the director of Bend It Like Beckham, Viceroy's House, and Bajis on the Beach, among many other blockbusters. Her movies have grossed over hundreds of millions in sales and have given her critical acclaim through awards and nominations. Her movies have brought cultural understanding and mutual appreciation between the Indian diaspora and Britons by highlighting their entertaining differences, but by also underlining their common values and desires. Lord Karan Bilimore is one of England's most prolific businessmen and the first Parsi to sit in the House of Lords. Among numerous appointments and responsibilities, he's been responsible for building Indo-Brit business relationships under the governments of Narasimha Rao and John Major, as well as Manmohan Singh and Tony Blair. Famed for his brand Cobra Beer, Lord Bilimore's beverage grew to great success as Indian food found its way not only into the stomachs of millions of Britons, but also into their hearts. Curry is a national dish of Great Britain, an aspect of British history propped up by Lord Bilimore's beverage. Miss Reena Ranger is a politician and the founder of Women Empowered, which serves to empower and inspire British minority ethnic women across many areas, including business, health, entertainment, and social work. Whilst making the Queen's Honours List in 2019, she is perhaps most famous for the broadcast of her baking festive mince pies at Christmas with UK Prime Minister Boris Johnson and his father. Our three guests are true champions of the British Indian diaspora, and we are very excited to have them with us today. Ms. Ranger will be moderating today's conversation. Off to you.
So I had already was so excited, jumped right in. So I will repeat the question in case anybody missed it. It was that how do we reconcile the great contrasts and ironies of life? For example, that we are all isolated in lockdown, but so many of us are doing that together, whether it is as a species being the most capable and intelligent that we've ever been, but we are learning all these simple lessons again in lockdown, or in the case of fame, where so many people, they know your name, but so few people actually know you.
You know, if you look back at the history of human race, we have been doing such sort of isolation whenever there was a catastrophe, whenever there was a disease, for which we didn't have any medicine. For example, in the past century, when people had tuberculosis, they were isolated totally. They were in quarantine for many months, maybe even years. So once the medicine was found, then it became a normal thing. If people have tuberculosis, nothing, you go to a doctor, you get few antibiotics and few pricks, and then you will be fine. You don't have to worry about it. So till we find a vaccine for this particular virus, this fear will be there in the minds of people. Even though the lockdown is eased, I feel the people will not be confident enough to go to movies, go to public places and mingle with people. They will, of course, exercise a lot of caution. So, but this phase, we must know it is a passing phase. So we must, instead of getting scared about it, we simply must enjoy this different way or lifestyle for a little while. We may not get it later on, you know.
This is
Yeah, I agree with that. I think that this is a great opportunity to do a lot of what you already teach, Guruji. You know, the idea of introspection, re-evaluating what is important in life, what is your place in life, what is your purpose. And I think having this time to, you know, just think about those things, because for a while, of course, you can all sit and watch television, or you can, like, you know, just veg out. But after a while, we do start asking our questions about, you know, about who we are, what we are, and why we're here. And I think this has been an invaluable time to stop the being on the you know, the hamster wheel of life. You know, me included. You know, make a film, write a script, make a film, write a script. You know, like, get off that wheel for a bit and really appreciate our time on earth and what can we do with that time.
Absolutely, absolutely. This is the time to reflect about life itself. We get lost in the accessories of life, all the amenities for life, but we fail to pay attention to life as such. You know, the values that we live for or we stand for. You know, this is the time to look in and see life from a different context. You know, I think that will create a lot of awareness in people. Not only this is the time to come up with great creative ideas. See, when you're too busy, you don't get creative ideas. You know, as a writer, as a poet, you know, you cannot write a script in a hurry. If you
No.
write a script in a hurry, you have to correct it 100 times. But when you are calm, relaxed, and you really connect with yourself, you are able to write poems, you are able to write scripts. Even scientists, they discover something new when they have free time, when they can repose in themselves for a while. Yeah.
Do you think
it's been so good to see you again? We've shared the platform over the years. Do you remember that trip we went to Baroda with
Yes, yes.
MSG University and that huge 8,000 people there, if you remember, when you got an honorary doctorate? And so good to see you. But what you're saying makes so much sense. What Gurinder said just now, how do you reconcile that in a time like this, where we have this surreal 2 months of lockdown, and it's a global, it's not just in India, it's the whole world. But yet there's this feeling of ambiguity, a feeling of uncertainty, a feeling of dislocation, pressure. Apart from the relaxation, if you can, but a lot of people are worried, am I going to have my job at the end of this? How long is the economy going to take to recover? Are we going to go into a depression? You know, people get very negative at a time like this as well. And what I've been trying to do is to get people to stay positive, to, as you said, this is a passing phase. We're going to get over this. And how do we get people to have that confidence to look ahead in the short term and in the long term?
You know, at this time, there are 4 things that we can do to help people. One is make them look back into their own life. They had many challenges, they have overcome them. And every time they had challenges, they were anxious, they were nervous. It's not that this is the very first time they are getting nervous. I don't think it's the case. This is a collective nervousness, no doubt. Collectively, people are anxious. But there were incidents in everybody's life when they have been anxious. Tell them, look back, and you have overcome them. That's why you are here now. So you will overcome them in the future also.
But where do you find that strength to accept and resign to whatever may be coming or what is happening?
Looking to your own life in the past. You know, in the past you have been anxious. Remember those moments when you were anxious. See, you were anxious whether you will pass the high school. So when you got the result, that was over, right? Similarly, you were looking for maybe an admission in a college. So you were so anxious. So from childhood, we have this anxiousness time and again. when we look back at that and we know we have overcome them all. So this also we will overcome. This is one way. Second is uh, to see life from a broader perspective, broader context, invoke the valor inside of you. Just think this is World War III. When there is a war, when there is an emergency, you don't sit and worry or scratch your head, or you don't sit and cry. All that you do is you pull up your socks and you start running. You start doing what you need to do. So second thing is invoke the valor in people, that know that collectively we can get over this. We can fight and win over this. Cheer people up by invoking the valor inside of them. The third thing is knowing that nothing is permanent here. We are all going to die one day. Anyway, we will be strong. We can do it. We will manage it. That confidence, invoking confidence in oneself. The fourth thing is, I would say, is faith in a power. That there is a power that's going to protect me, that is protecting me. This acknowledgement of a universal power, which is full of love and kindness. So this power of with loving kindness is not going to let me down. So that prayer, whatever you call the power as God or nature or your favorite name for that deity or God, know that this power is there and it loves me. It's going to give me strength and going to give me ideas to overcome this. So these, I would say, is the 4 different ways, and people are very different, no? So any one of these ways will definitely work for them.
Thank you.
So many people I know during lockdown have had to about the inevitability of death. I know Gurinder, you've had personal experience with that. It's how we come together at these times where we are normally we would all be together, but finding a place to be together in this new normal. I think this new normal is very confusing for so many people. Your new normal is changing. Normally you'd be amongst people, now you're on Zoom, and it's how do you think we will find our new normal?
What we should see here is there is one big advantage, that we have technology in our hands. This is only social distancing, but it's not about emotional distancing. You don't need to keep emotional distance. You can connect to people, you can talk to them, you can be in Zoom and in Skype or in the phone. We are in touch with them. Just imagine if this pandemic has happened some 40 years back when we didn't have mobile phone. What would have been this situation? You can't even think about it. So today we have technology, we have ways to communicate, and we have ways to entertain ourselves. So with the television, with this one, and with the internet, with so much of things to learn, I think instead of sitting and worrying about the future, this is the time to improve our skills, learn more, and communicate more with your friends and family, and keep that emotional connectivity.
I think one of the things that was hard when my aunt died, my Buaji died, and it was hard because obviously customary for us is to always go and be with our loved ones for the grieving period. But we had to manage. And one of the things that was so beautiful was that when she was in hospital, even though we couldn't go, the nurses FaceTimed her children. And as she was passing, they all held her hands. And so they were holding her hands and FaceTiming the children so they could all do a prayer. They did a das, for her next onward journey. And that in a way is a blessing. That's human connectivity in a different way. And that, I think, gave us all immense a great feeling, you know, that her life passed on in a very respectful way. And then, like you know, we ended up doing Zoom prayers. We did prayers every day. Joy Bhai Sahib, Guru Gobind Singh's part. We did that every day at 2:00 for a week with family all over the world joining in. And ironically, that, as we all said, you know, dil halka ho gaya si, like everyone felt much lighter and connected. So I think that the new normal in many ways is this reawakening of an emotional connection and I mean, I use this word, and I don't mean it in the way that other people do, but a spiritual connection. Because ultimately, what we're all doing is connecting with the spirits of each other and something greater, a greater force that has put us in this position, and a greater force that is either going to help us through the anxieties that Karan is talking about, but also giving us purpose, actually. So what we can't do during this time is feel that we don't have any power. And even though the economic realities are very real, even though, like for me, I don't know when I'm going to make another film. Before lockdown, I was ready to make another film, and now it's all stopped, you know. So I don't know when I'll be able to go into production. I don't know what that's even going to look like. But what I can do is write, you know, and so I've been writing. And I think we have to find new ways to seek employment, you know, and find a way to hold on to this sense of emotionally connecting and find a way forward with that.
You know, we often take things for granted. And now this has made us realize, look, life is more dynamic than what we think. There is no stagnation. Here, you may have to rethink everything from the beginning. You know, you have to start your work, your profession, especially those who are on a daily wage workers, people who are working, you know, labor class. They will be the most hard hit now at this time. So if and one thing is, if there is a sense of security, not just from the government anyway gives security to people, but from the civil society, if we say we are all together in fighting this pandemic, so we are all here together to help each other. That assurance from each other, no, from the civil society to people, can give them enough strength to cross over this tough time.
Gurudev, do you think, just building on that, there has been enough? The people have been wonderful as communities. I mean, over here I see in you know, my restaurants that we supply using my business, wearing my business hat, they're shut. Thousands of them shut. And yet some of them are making takeaways and sending them to the hospitals for the nurses and for the doctors free of charge, just doing it to put back in the community. We're all trying to help each other. But do you think there's been enough leadership and on a global level? Are we working together enough? Could we be doing better? I just sometimes think that, you know, we've got the United Nations is going to be celebrating its 75th anniversary. The WHO is part of the United Nations. Could we be taking this as an opportunity to just step up our ability to work together globally?
Yes, I would say there is always room for improvement. We are doing well, we are doing good now. But when you see that there are many more new ideas are coming up, and then so there are many opportunities for more cooperation, we can do much more. And here it is like people's movement. Everybody is a leader in this. As far as, you know, developing the human relationships and uplifting human values, it's a mass movement sort of thing. You know, people are coming together in all remote places around the world to help each other. And that is really heartening to see that, you know, it's heartwarming. The people are, you know, opening up themselves. Though they are undergoing lot of personal issues, when they see there are others who are in worse place, they come out to help them.
Do you have faith that we will learn these lessons and keep this sense of community and society? Or when we are returning back onto the hamster wheel that Gurinder talks about, will we forget very quickly again? Is that the inevitability?
Well, it could be both. Some places we may forget, but some people may keep their social distancing, they may follow. I mean, you cannot just say people will be only in this type. There could be many possibilities. I see the possibilities. Some people may forget, they may feel more resilient and just move on. And there are others who may be really worried about, getting back to life as normal. So we can find different, but one thing, if they have inner strength, you see, that they will be able to manage situations much better, much better. All that you need is the inner strength. See, a strong mind can carry along a weak body, but a weak mind cannot carry on a strong body either. So mental strength is very important, especially in UK, when at this time people are feeling a lot of loneliness. I heard that the loneliness feeling has increased in Europe, especially in UK. For these, I would tell them that they must take time to meditate. I even scripted meditation for loneliness only. See how you can take hands with the loneliness, really go deep into it and find that it is just a bubble in our mind. Actually, we are never lonely. The whole nature is with us, The air, earth, water, sun, moon, the whole universe is with you. People are with you. People love you. We forget that people love us. And nature loves us. So meditation can help people to get over loneliness.
That's true.
You were talking about, sorry, Lord.
Karen, please.
I was just going to ask that Gurudev says, talking about nature, Mother Nature, we are all here at her mercy. And we've seen she has a role. The virus is a creation of her. We are her creations. In the end, you have to wonder, what does winning look like? Who wins? And is that a win?
Well, who wins? We win or the nature win? Is that the question?
We are battling Mother Nature's will because we now can. That is Mother Nature's job, is to do what she does. And we are merely one species.
We are part of nature, actually. We are very much a part of nature. But see, now in this pandemic, one thing has happened that nature is rejuvenating itself. The ozone roll is getting repaired in the north, and then you see a lot of good things happening in Mumbai. You see dolphins coming to Mumbai.
Oh, wow.
And you have, peacocks everywhere, and the birds have returned back. Here in Bangalore, the weather has become so good. We have never seen such a good weather in April for a long time. So I think it's good to have this lockdown every year, once a week, 1 week every year. Maybe that's a way to give that respite for nature to rejuvenate herself. I feel it could be a planned lockdown throughout the world for a week when no flights fly from anywhere, and then people are all at home and bonding with their own families, and everybody has enough to eat in their own homes. They don't even have to go to shopping. I think a planned lockdown of the whole world would be very good time to time. Even if not every year, maybe once in 2 years. A week-long lockdown, I think, would do good to our planet. What do you think?
But especially if you could have that idyllic 1 week lockdown that is planned and everyone plans for it, Here we have a situation where it's 2 months and already the economic damage we know. I mean, over here in the UK, our finance minister, Chancellor of the Exchequer, has admitted we're already in the midst of a recession. We don't know how long it's going to go on for. How do we get people? You mentioned earlier about people being worried about going out again, going to public places. How do we build back that confidence in people? Is it just waiting to see what happens with the health situation, how it unwinds? But how can we get people to get ready so that we get them back to work, get them back to not being scared, building that confidence? That's a challenge we have at the moment, and people are naturally worried.
Yeah, correct. In this, we definitely need to take care of our immune system. We need to boost our immune system, number one. We have to see our strong immune system. And we know not everybody who gets this virus are going to die. This is a misnomer. This is a wrong understanding. Only 3% of people die out of that. That too, those who have weak immune system. And there are microbes. There are so many microbes around us all the time. This is one such microbe. Once a vaccine is found for this, which I'm sure our scientists will be able to find very soon, once a vaccine is there, the fear in the minds of people will just vanish. Now, for the very first time, the doctors and people in the frontline workers, medical, fraternity, they are scared. I was speaking to a bunch of doctors the other day. They were telling me this is the first time in our life that we are scared for our life. This has never happened before. We were only focusing on the patient. So this sort of fear will go. As far as business is concerned, yes, economy is down and it will take some time to rebuild it. That's why I would say this is almost like World War III. When Germany was totally destroyed after World War II, they all got together and built it back as a robust economy. Same thing happened with Japan and many other parts of the world. So our population has the strength and resilience that we can definitely bounce back. Economy is something we can definitely fix it, provided we have the mental strength. And for mental strength, I would say we have to do breathing techniques and meditation. These are the best thing that can happen to an individual as far as mental health and physical strength is concerned.
You talk about meditation and breathing. I'm very conscious it's 3 p.m. here in the UK and 7:30 where you are in India. And I think it's time for our global meditation session, which I think will be a very positive energy force.
Thank you. Wonderful talking
Thank you.
to you.
Thank you so much for your time. And at some point, it would be wonderful to know what kind of film you would like to see someone like me make for the diaspora. That would be an amazing thing. We can talk about that.
Sure.
A film on Sri Sri. You can make a film based on Sri Sri.
On his teaching.
I think we're going to come back after,
definitely, yeah.
I think we'll come back after the meditation session and maybe have a few more words together. So please stay.
Okay. Come, let's go. Let's move on to meditation. Let's sit comfortably, easily. Actually, we create some conditions which makes meditation happen. Meditation happens. You cannot do. It's not an action. Meditation is a state that happens to you with few conditions. And what are those conditions? There are three main rules, or I would say this as the golden rules for meditation. The first golden rule is, suppose you are going to meditate for next 10 minutes. The first golden rule is, for the next 10 minutes, I want nothing. Our mind is cluttered with many wants. Mind says, oh, I want this, I want this, I want this, I want. As long as the wants are taking the front seat in our mind, mind cannot go deep and settle in deep meditation. So the first thing would be, say, next 10 minutes, I want nothing. You can have all your wants, but wants should be like your coat. It should not become your skin. So like a coat, you come back home and you remove the jacket, and whenever you want, you put it on. So can we say for the next 10 minutes, I want nothing? Only 10 minutes. Then we will be able to meditate better, number one. Second is, I do nothing. This is the second golden principle for meditation. Meditation is not doing something, it is an art of doing nothing. So, next 10 minutes, I am not doing anything. I am not intently listening, I am not intently looking at anything, listening to anything. I am just relaxing. Relaxation is only when we do nothing. The third, even more vital point for meditation is, I am nothing. So if I think at that moment, I am an intelligent person, or I am a big fool, or any type of identity we take on to ourselves, limits our mind and keeps it in a small arena. So in order for mind to have experience all possibilities to the inner depth of the consciousness, it need to know that I am nothing. So, I want nothing, I do nothing, I am nothing. These are the three mantras, important things we need to bear in mind when we start meditation. With this, let us sit back comfortably and easily. As meditation is an effortless process. So let us sit back effortlessly and close your eyes. And let's take a deep breath in and breathe out. Breathe in and breathe out. Let us honor our own body. Our body is a precious gift to us from nature. Honor your own body. And now let us recollect the weight of our body, whatever that is, 120 pounds, 140 pounds, or 200 pounds. Just recollect the weight of your body. And let's take a deep breath in, hold the breath, and as you breathe out, you may place the weight of your body on the seat, on the chair, on the floor, on the seat, wherever you are sitting. Let us become aware of the space around the body and the air in it. Let's breathe in once again. Hold the breath. Hold the breath as long as you can. As you hold the breath, you don't feel the weight of the body. And breathe out. And as you breathe out, Relax your whole body. Let's do this once again. Breathe in and hold the breath. Notice the mind is empty, and as you breathe out, relax even more. When you hold the breath, notice the state of mind. Fewer thoughts will be hovering around, mostly it is empty. Again, let's take a deep breath in, this time with a smile. Hold the breath with a smile. As though everything is frozen, and let go. As you relax, the breath comes out slowly. Once again, let's breathe in. Hold the breath and let go. This time, let us relax our shoulders. Shoulders and arms and fingers in your palm. Relax your fingers as well. Honor your own body. Now let us honor our breath. It's the breath that gives value to our body. Let us welcome the incoming breath like you would do to an old friend, and see off the outgoing breath like you would do to an honored guest. Breathe in with a smile, welcome the incoming breath. Let us hold and see off the outgoing breath respectfully. Now let's become aware of our mind. Our body is like the wick of a candle, our mind is like the glow. As the body relaxes, our mind expands, and as the mind becomes aware of the space all around us, our bodies start relaxing. Our body is like the wick of a candle, our mind is like the glow all around it. Let us become aware of the space in front of our body. Let's keep our attention to 1 meter, 3 feet of space in front of us. We are breathing in from this area and we are breathing out into this space of 3 feet or a meter right in front of us. Now let us turn our attention to our right side. Let us become aware of our right ear, right shoulder, and place our attention in this space up to 3 feet or 1 meter to our right side. You may also become aware of the wall to your right side, the whole space up to the wall to your right side. Let's take a deep breath in and breathe out and relax even more. Whatever thoughts are coming in the mind, just let them come. We welcome all thoughts, good or bad, all feelings are okay. They can come and they can go. Another deep breath in and hold the breath and we can let go our holding and allow breath to come out. Now let us take our attention to the back of the head. Let us become aware of the back of the head, back of the neck, shoulder blades, and the whole of the spine. Let us become aware of 3 feet of space, 1 meter of space behind our body. Let go of all your efforts. A gentle awareness of space behind your body. Also become aware of the walls behind you. Let's take another deep breath in. Hold the breath and let go. Relax. Incoming breath energizes the body, while outgoing breath brings relaxation. Let's become familiar with this phenomenon. Now let us take our attention to our left side. The space next to our left ear, left shoulder, and all the way to the wall. Just let's keep our attention there. Now let's take our attention to the top of the head and become aware of the space above our head. Let's keep our eyes closed and keep relaxing our body. Let's just become aware of the volume of the room we are in. You are a fountain of love. Just relax and repose in yourself. Let's just let go of all the efforts. Now there is nothing to do and nothing to know either. And simply repose in yourself. Repose with a big smile. And allow the smile to percolate through your whole body. Let every cell in your head, your back of the head, start smiling and relaxing. Let this genuine smile go to our throat and back of the neck. Let it percolate through the whole body. Like a baby, you are smiling from every cell of your body. Let go of all your efforts. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Slowly and gradually, let's become aware of our body and surroundings. Let's become aware of our breath and the thoughts in our mind, if there are any. Let's take another deep breath in. And as you breathe out, slowly and gradually, you may open your eyes. Take your time.
Thank you so much.
Wonderful.
I think just with the last few moments we have, Gurudev, 40 years of art of living. You've done 100 of these live Q&As over lockdown. This is a time for reflection, and maybe just to finish off with asking you all what your profound reflections are, and if our Karan or Gurinder have any questions for you as well directly. What is that? What do you think our profound reflection or learning of lockdown should be? What should be the message we take with us going forward into whatever new normal we may have?
Going forward, we must know that we are being loved and being taken care of a higher power. That is one thing. Second is we need to be responsible and be active in spreading loving compassion. Yeah, this is that if you are not compassionate at this time, then there is no compassion left inside of you. So if we take this step to help the humanity, suffering humanity, with whatever little bit we can do, express our compassion and solidarity, that shows we are really human beings. So standing up with humanity is one message that we must take now and move on.
That's a good message. Gurinder, Karan, do you have any final questions for Gurudev?
Thank you so much, Rishi. After that meditation, I feel more revived and refreshed. And I think we should come out of this lockdown wiser, stronger, more confident, more compassionate. I completely agree. And going forward, we should build back better.
Yeah, completely agree with you, Karan. I think there's a wonderful word in the English language that I use a lot, and I can't always express it in English, and that's hamdardi. Hamdardi is the most important word to me, and I try and use that in all my work, is to create that sense of hamdardi, which is a combination of empathy and compassion and all the things that you're talking about for each other. And I think, we've had all the issues with the NHS, in terms of there's been a lot of racism, in our country, with how certain Black and Asian doctors have been treated, how just generally, in the world. But I think what has happened is there's been a greater understanding of how everyone is reliant on each other for society to happen, and we've seen that compassion in communities. We see it every Thursday when we clap for the NHS and the first response workers. So I think there's undoubtedly that sense of reliance on each other as a community, as a society, has definitely worked. And I think that is the one positive thing that we can definitely take from lockdown. Now we need our governments and our leaders to follow through with that, and hopefully revive our economies, our fortunes, and our businesses and our employment in that kind, benevolent way.
Absolutely. I would say not to sit and just worry this time. Worrying is not going to lead you anything. Get into high prana, get into a lot of energy. You are source of energy. Tap into the source that you are, the source of energy you are, and get out there to put your creativity, plan for a brighter future, dream more, rather than sitting and sulking and worrying about yourself. The mantra for depression is, what about me, what about me, what about me? We should put that aside. Rather, we should think, now we have an opportunity in this crisis to build a new world, a much more compassionate, a world with empathy, a world with a lot of caring for each other, all that. Yeah.
I know that the Art of Living UK, you are offering free courses to key workers throughout the NHS as part of some of that healing process during this really tough time.
Correct. And online programs are there for everyone to enjoy. It's 2 hours for 4 days, and people just are loving it. They learn many things about themselves, all the 7 layers of their existence: the body, breath, mind, intellect, memory, ego, and the self. Yeah. So all the best to every one of you, and we're all together in this new normal of the world. We're all together. Okay.
Thank you for your time. Thank you so much to everybody. Thank you.
Thank you, Gurinder.
Bye.
Thank you, Bina. Thank you, Chief.
Bye-bye.